Okay, welcome back, everyone. Thank you, for those that are joining us virtually for your patience. Take a quick personal break there. We're back. So council, let's take it back to item 8.7. Sorry, 8.6 on your agenda. I have a motion by Deputy Mayor McEwen, seconded by Councilor Rodriguez, that the report by Eric Campbell, Director of Fire and Emergency Services / Fire Chief, dated March the 6th, 2024, regarding conducting live fire training with a donated house located on Egremont Road be received and endorsed. We have Chief Campbell with us. Is there any questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Do you have a question, Councilor?
Sorry, this was the item about being able to burn a house.
That's correct.
Are we going to be burning a house?
So what the motion was changed from what the fire committee wrote. The motion is now, if I may, through the chair, sorry. The motion is now that we go through the process, and if it's safe to do so, as per NFPA 1403 and our operating guidelines to go ahead and burn it. But the reality here is that the likelihood of us burning it is probably not very high. But there's a lot of other training that we want to do inside the building. At the end of the day, it is private property that is being donated to us, so it needs a motion from council to accept that risk.
If I remember at our fire exec meeting, you stated, Mr. Sabansky, that a report would come back, whether a more in-depth report.
During that time, we did go through the policies which are currently in place at the fire department. And there are very, very clear, concise policies in place. And they actually have a waiver form already in place. So once we determined that all of those check marks are already in place, Chief Campbell and I felt that a full-blown report in regards to those policies wasn't necessary, as they've already been put in place at the fire department. So this report was amended to show that those policies are in place, to note that the live fire training will only take place if the conditions of those policies are met as per their current operating procedures.
Thank you.
No further questions? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Great. Council will go to 8.7. I have a motion by Councillor Bojan, seconded by Councillor Basie, that the report by Eric Campbell, Director of Fire and Emergency Services / Fire Chief, dated March the 7th, 2024, regarding training for council members regarding the essentials of municipal fire protection, a decision maker's guide, be received and endorsed and scheduled for April the 11th at 5 p.m. Chief is with us. Is there any questions? Deputy?
Is this training for members of council just recommended, or is it compulsory?
It is not compulsory. It is highly recommended. And we were given very limited window as to when we could operate the course, because there's only so much time these folks are available to instruct it.
Okay, but I would like to attend that, but I wasn't even aware that this is going to happen. And now it's happening April 11th, and I'm busy that night. So I would, if I'm not going to be able to go, am I going to be expelled?
No.
Okay, then I won't come. No.
Well, this is a 2-day suspension.
Okay, you're going to take it. All right.
No, and I think that, and I appreciate your position. If I may, through the chair, we were locked into certain dates. The fire executive committee looked at the 3 dates that we were offered and narrowed it down to the one that was most realistic for council to attend. And then that was the motion that was put forward.
So the fire board just operated around themselves instead of around the other councils?
If I may, I think the other 2 dates, there's a Parks Board meeting and there was another meeting within council.
Correct. There was two, I believe it was something going on with the birds and the bees or something.
Yes.
The birds and the bees and the
Yeah.
fire report.
The
vital meeting. Recreation.
Which,
Everybody knows about the birds.
if I may, we got notification of that after we got the dates. So,
Okay, I
Just-
I
just-
just wanted to express my opinion, and that's what I did.
and whatever you wish to do, Deputy Mayor, you are entitled. I am not going to question you at all.
Good boy.
Councilor Bovet, and then Councilor. after.
To the chief, before the meeting, you mentioned the possibility of a meeting prior with the board. With the fire marshal's office.
That is a possibility. Again, then that would require a special meeting from the fire exec committee.
Yeah.
I-
That would be the same training, would it be?
Well, no, it would be more along the lines of conducting it so that you have an opportunity to kind of shape the way the training is developed.
I see.
But again, as I've stated, that would require that special meeting. That would be something that I would approach Mr. Sabansky about. He can then give you the official, whatever we think.
Give the official go ahead, yeah.
If we are meeting to scope the training, that leaves us little to no time to do so. If the committee feels strongly that they would like to do that, we can definitely accommodate that. But it is currently scheduled for April 11th, so that only gives us about 14 days to develop that. So
Yeah, I agree.
if you have a strong opinion about that, we gladly oblige, but otherwise I think we let the fire marshal's office dictate the training.
Yeah, you guys.
If I may through the chair, if the committee would like to have more input, by all means, send out those emails on to Mr. Sabansky and then we will forward them on to the fire marshal's office. That might be the better way of dealing with that situation.
Everybody's happy except me, so don't worry about it.
Well, I've already made a note to express that you're just concerned.
Did I fill your position in?
Okay, Councilor Rodriguez, you had a question, then we'll move along.
Thank you. It was, so when we were handed the 3 dates, we looked at any information we had available to us at the time. Because there were other dates that are being provided to us. And the biggest concern, which I don't think was still noted in this report, was that this training session is minimum 3 hours long. And possibly longer depending on questions, so as long as everybody knows to be prepared for that. And so.
Chief, where would the location be? Is it Kamaki Community Center or where?
We're thinking about using the Kamlaki Fire Hall as we've redone it. It will be an opportunity for council to see it.
Further questions, discussions? All those in favor? Opposed?
No.
Leave the key to the host too.
All right, council, let's go to item 8.8. Motion by Councilor Rodriguez, seconded by Councilor Van Claveren, that the report prepared by Eric Campbell, Fire Chief and Director of Emergency Services, dated March the 5th, 2024, regarding the Plympton-Wyoming Fire Master Plan update be received for information. Council, you've had an opportunity to review that. Are there any questions of the chief? Seeing none, Councilor Wolbeck.
Just make a comment for the purpose of council. This is my opinion and talked about this at the fire board is a great report on these 47 items. It certainly gives the council a calendar of where we're at with each of these items. What we're not, what we're gonna do, what we're not. Pardon me, what council's gonna do and what they're not gonna do. So when you see some of this stuff in red that says, you know, we're not gonna do that no more, it's gonna give you a working document. And it'll be updated as we go through it and get some stuff finished. It'll be closed off like the others in red and you'll be able to follow along and see what we've implemented in the fire master plan. So I think it's a great document, Chief. Thank you for that. It's clear, it's easy to understand and it was what was presented to this council, the fire master plan. So It's not gonna get all done. I mean, these are all recommendations of the day. Recommendations of the day when it was put together, so. So thank you, Chief, for that. I think it's good for the council here to understand this.
Councilor Bojan.
Yeah, and of that, it's good to see them all laid out. The one thing that I think council should be aware of is 42. All 10 of our apparatus all bought within 11 years. That means they expire all within a certain amount of time. Just wanted to flag that.
You are correct, Counselor. Thank you for bringing that. Okay, anything further? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, council, let's go to 8.9. A motion by Councilor Rodriguez, seconded by Councilor Vacy, with a report by Nicole Campbell, Executive Assistant Corporate Services, dated March 7th, 2024, regarding the request for additional information on smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors be received for information purposes and endorsed by council. I believe this came up earlier at one of the fire board meetings, and it was asked for a little bit more further information. Ms. Campbell, you are with us this evening. Is there anything you'd like to add to that, your report?
No, I think everything's in there, so.
Any questions, council? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Carried. Council will go to 8.10 next. Moved by Councilor Bojan, seconded by Councilor Vacy, that the report by Adam Szymanski, Chief Administrative Officer, dated March the 22nd, 2024, regarding the My Main Street Program 2024 Community Activator Stream, be received and the council approves submitting a grant for improvements to downtown Wyoming and Christmas in the Village. Mr. Szymanski, anything to add to your report that we've all had a chance to view?
No, I'd just like to thank Nicole, Norma, and Paul for being the drivers behind this report. I greatly appreciate their assistance in bringing this information to council.
Great, thank you. Any questions? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, council, that takes us to item 9, bylaws. Clerk, anything new to add to that?
Nothing to this one.
Okay. Item 10, correspondence. Let's go to 10.1. A motion by Councilor Vacy, seconded by Councilor Bojan, that the correspondence relating to the County of Lambton 2024 larviciding program.
Larvicide, sir.
Larvicide, thank you. We received that the town of Plympton-Wyoming supports local action by Lambton Public Health to reduce the risk of West Nile virus and authorize any permit application for West Nile virus control submitted to the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change from an appropriately licensed exterminator to apply larvicide into catch basins and surface water within and owned, managed by the town of Plympton-Wyoming, located on private land that drains into the storm drain system or waterways located within the town of Plympton-Wyoming. Are there any questions on that? Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Carried. Item 11. Correspondence. I have a motion by Councilor Van Claveren, seconded by Deputy Mayor McEwen, that the correspondence items A to K, relating to recommended reading and routine approval and information items not otherwise addressed by resolution, be noted as received by the Plympton-Wyoming Council and filed accordingly. Beginning on my right, Councilor Bojan, anything from you?
Yeah, I'd like to pull item F for support. It's a motion, or it's a resolution for the federal government to invest in rural municipalities, small rural municipalities when it comes to their wastewater infrastructure and the lack thereof.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Councilor B?
That's everything. Thank you.
Counselor Vacy,
Yes. Sure, I got the right one. Which talks about more funding for libraries and museums, which affects us. And yay, if we could. I don't know if we have to support it, but it's certainly a truth.
you'd like that folded? Sure. Like to have it pulled and we'll deal with it?
Yes,
Then
please.
support. Okay. Counselor Rodriguez,
I also had J, and G. J deals with, the provincial and federal governments, providing support to the budgets of Toronto, when other municipalities are having a hard time balancing their budgets. So they just want it to be more fair, that all municipalities are treated fairly in our province in regards to that, not just Toronto. And G had to do with, the limitations of the blue box regulations, ineligible items or places, ineligible sources, sorry. Which include like businesses, places to work, there's camp, that one. It's just like a more streamlined for every place to be part of the program.
anything else? Was that
That was it, thank you.
Deputy?
No, it's been covered. Thank you.
Okay, Counselor Van Claveren?
Thank you.
Counselor Willett?
I would just agree with Councillor Rodriguez on G on the Blue Box program, because I think that's I'm not sure of all the details, but it's a big deal because all these businesses here have to get rid of the recycle somewhere. It's not going to be part of the Blue Box program, according to the read on here. I don't know what the final decision is, but that's a big source of recycle in this community right here. So we would have to pay for all that as, I don't know, as garbage. I don't know. I don't know where it would go. Yeah,
Counselor Bansky?
So currently the town of Plympton-Wyoming does offer curbside pickup to small businesses. But any large business that produces large amounts of recycling are required to enter into a contract on their own. And their contractor is responsible for bringing the recycling materials to market. So if they are stringent about the changes, it could affect some of our small businesses that produce small amounts of waste. But the larger waste producers in town already have their own contracts.
All right.
Or down if you want to start. I do need a seconder for item F.
I need a seconder for the one that Counselor Bojan. had,
Infrastructure funding for new housing.
I'll second that.
I'll do one more.
Okay, I have a motion by Counselor Van Claveren, seconded by Deputy Mayor McEwen. That the correspondence items A to K relating to recommended reading and routine approval and information items not otherwise addressed by resolution be noted as received by the Plympton-Wyoming Council and filed accordingly. Save and accept items F, I, J, and G. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, a motion by Councillor Bojan, seconded by Councillor Van Claveren, that council support item F. in the City of Quinte West regarding the infrastructure funding for new housing. All those in favor? Carried. Seconder for Councillor Bases.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Councillor
Oh,
Rodriguez.
He had aye as well.
Oh,
Yep.
I just have.
Yeah, motion by Councillor Bases, seconded by Councillor Rodriguez. The council supports item I. The town of Lincoln regarding library and museum funding increase. All those in favor? Carried. And I have a motion by Councillor Basie, seconded by Councillor Rodriguez, that council support correspondence, item J. In the township of Armouth regarding operational budget funding. All those in favor? Carried. A motion by Councillor Rodriguez, seconded by Councillor Wolvette. The council supports correspondence item G. Loyalist Township regarding a request to the province to amend Blue Box regulation for ineligible sources. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you, clerk, for that quick, right. Okay, let's go to item 12, new business, beginning with Deputy Mayor. Anything from you?
Have nothing. Except that anybody want to go in the canoe race?
With
Nobody
you?
wants to go?
Too
With
cold.
me, yeah. What do you mean?
For the conservation.
Is that what you're doing on the 11th?
Conservation. No.
Any kilometers in
no,
the same
that's-
boat as you?
The 20
Talk about the birds.
the 20. That's all. I guess I opened a little can of worms. I've been in it once,
I guess it-
actually twice, first and last time.
What's it? Is that 28th
27th, no, 28th, sorry, 28th.
Of
Anybody want to go?
of April?
They usually, if you don't have a canoe, they will supply one.
They canceled that the last 2 years. now
Yes.
due to weather.
Yeah. But
So
it,
hopefully they have a
it's
good
on-
year this year.
yeah, yeah,
Times the charm.
Will our representative from the
yeah, she should be.
Conservation Authority be?
You can do just a kayak all by yourself, you can dump yourself.
And you can, you can wear your fire gear.
Actually, that would be a violation of second.
And it's
I
nothing to
could've
do with
guessed.
dumping you in the river.
I was just gonna say, you're looking forward to this.
All right, Councillor Van Claveren?
Sure, just maybe one little thing here. We've been talking, thank you, Mr. Mayor, we've been talking, Adam and I, that there is a local residence that has purchased a home on a double municipal lot and we're exploring maybe some affordable housing there. So I'll keep you up to speed if it kind of moves forward. It's kind of a neat opportunity, maybe.
Thank you. Councillor Wolvette?
Good night, sir.
Okay. The truck still looks good, Bob.
Thank you, sir.
Councillor Rodriguez?
I'm curious, did something happen to the truck?
He washed it.
Oh, okay.
It's spring again.
I think your worship, I was looking for maybe an update to my last request on, do we have any new information on the road construction timeline? For Lakeshore Road, rehabilitation work?
Mr. Silver, are you aware of anything of that?
Yes, through your worship. So that project was just recently out for tender last Monday. So it just went out for tender. I think it's out for tender for about 4 weeks. They don't have exact dates for construction, but I have conveyed that we want some advance notice and that we want some additional public notice. And that the town would be happy to assist with putting it on our Facebook page, on our website. And making sure that the county, I mean, they are going to be putting up information boards as well. So I don't have an exact timeline for you, but I have conveyed that request to the county.
Okay, so at least we can, it's safe to say it's not gonna happen for the month of April.
It's not gonna happen for the month of April, and they also are looking at a closure because they do have to replace some pipes across the road, so the road will be closed for a period of time.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Welcome, Councilor Basie.
Yes, the Lions have breakfast this Friday from 8 to 12. Anybody that's out and about. And the fish fry coming April 19th. Tickets are moving fast, so if you're wanting to go, get your tickets. And that's from 4 to 8.
Right.
That's all I have.
Councilor Basie, where are those tickets available for the breakfast?
The breakfast are at the door. Also, I could get them, I guess. They're available just to walk in at the door.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor Bojan.
Nothing for me tonight, thank you.
Okay, the only thing that I have is I see today that we've got notification. The Lambton Creative County Grant Program that was released and we're successful. In receiving $3,400 towards the support of our wayfinding signage program. So that's good news today. Got a little bit towards that, clerk.
Something for new business.
Yes.
So some of you may remember at 2022 budget deliberations, it was brought up to that some members of council wanted staff to look into our dog tag program. So of course, last year was a little bit of a busy year, and so now it's back on our radar, and we've been discussing various options, but before we get too far down that, I just want to make sure that's still council's wish is that we review that program and bring back options for council.
You said in 2022.
I think it was that budget in 2022, and then 2023 was
So
a
when,
busy
right
year.
when we were new?
I keep bitching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what are you complaining about? Because we don't swear.
It was brought up just the fact that we bring in 20,000 a year and spend 5. And it was always told.
We bring in $20,000 a year in dog tags? And what do we do with that revenue?
That's my point.
So if I may, your worship.
Yeah.
So it will go towards enforcement as needed, and every year, we're not sure what that would cost. We have our agreement with Humane Society to pay for pickups now as pay-per-use and boarding if there's animals dropped off there. So the any amount left goes into the infrastructure reserve at the end of the year.
So if I may, do we have any, or can we have, if we further look into this? Would that entail giving us some idea of how much enforcement has been used over the last couple of years? To give us some sort of idea whether it makes sense, what makes
For
sense.
sure. Yeah, we've discussed, there's quite a number of options, and I think there's a good middle ground. But before we went and did full extensive, I just want to make sure that that's council wants us to go in that direction.
Definitely.
Also, what's your general feeling? It'd be okay to proceed with that? I think the general consensus is yes.
I was gonna suggest, because it is it is a surplus at this time, so that goes as revenue against your operating budget, so we're more than happy to bring back a report, but if you wanted to leave it at status quo, this would be a great time to say so, so we don't do a big report for you if you don't want a big report. But it sounds like council's all nodding that they would like to see their options, so the clerk's department will certainly look at that and bring it back to you. Most are you nodding yes, one of you is shaking your head no, but.
I think it's great that we have a surplus and it's going to the right, we're putting it in the right direction. I don't see why we need to spend any time on a report.
Why are the dog owners of Wyoming paying for revenue to run the town when, if you want to get right into it, the cat people don't pay anything?
You know,
I agree with that.
That's the argument I get asked every time it's dog tag season.
Why are the people of Wyoming paying for infrastructure?
It goes to the revenue of the
What's the
town.
matter with that? It goes like it's everywhere. It's not just the old Plympton or the old Wyoming. It's
I understand that.
everywhere.
Is it the dog owner's responsibility to do that?
No, it isn't the dog owner's responsibility, but it's a nice source of revenue.
It is.
But it's not being collected from everybody and going towards what you're suggesting. It's only dog owners are paying some sort of surplus here and not cat owners or turtle owners or owl owners.
Well, we only have one
Rabbit.
owl and spoon.
Madam Clerk, given the amount of discussion that's occurring, should we bring up a motion at this time to bring direction, so it is utterly clear, given that we do not have concise direction.
What could we get all the cats, Mike?
Stinky gardens.
Yeah.
No, I keep mine on a leash.
I didn't need to move.
We need a mover and a seconder for this motion. Rodriguez,
Oh, sorry, I can
Hayes.
read it. Read it.
Do I have it? Mike?
He wants to know what he's moving.
What's the motion?
That staff be directed to investigate options relating to the town's dog tag process and bring back a report for council's consideration.
You okay with that, Council?
Seconder?
Sorry, you can move, I'll say.
Leave this one in here. A motion by Councillor Vaizey, seconded by Councillor Rodriguez, that staff be directed to investigate options relating to the town's dog tag process and bring back a report for council's consideration. All those in favor? Opposed? That passes.
Thank you. That's it for me.
Nothing else from staff on new business? Okay. So this time we're going to be going into closed session. I want to thank those that have had patience and sat with us through this evening's activities. Thank you very much for your time. We'll be going back out to close down the meeting probably within half an hour to 3/4 of an hour at that time. So thank you, everybody. Look forward to seeing you next time and have a